Okay, one thing wasn't true. I'm not young anymore, not so joven anymore. I'm 39 years old. I've been doing this for 12 years now, so I'm not a novelist to innovation, but still a young company. How do I do this? Can you put the... Okay, SIT, Systematic Inventive Thinking, is the name of my company. I represented as the CEO of SIT in Germany. I'm very happy to be here. I've been doing work in Mexico before with my partners, and great to have the opportunity to present to you guys. The topic today is creating the inventive enterprise. So we just heard what the public community can do for you to foster innovation in the country. I want to go more deep dive into what the company can do to become a great innovator and become from good to great through innovation. So my focus will be more not the framework, but how to do it. How can you actually, as entrepreneurs, as presidents, CEOs of important companies of this country, become more innovative? And I want to start the presentation with a little commercial. And I just want you to watch it, and then I give you the message afterwards. I think it's funny. I hope you like it. Sound? So you need a higher volume, please. Okay, otra vez.
Das hier ist mein Sektor. Das hier ist das wichtigste Gerät des Küstenwächters. Das Gerät und das Gerät. Überlebensradar.
Mayday, Mayday. Hello, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you... Over. We are sinking. We are sinking.
Hello? This is the German Coast Guard.
We are sinking. We're sinking.
What are you thinking about?
Okay, this is an apology for me speaking English. I could do it in German, but I think German would not be good. So my Spanish is rudimentary, so I understand everything, but I can't do a presentation, so I hope you accept my apologies. Okay. Language should not be an issue. For those who don't really are perfect in English, we have interpretation here, so I hope everybody will be fine. If I'm too fast, stop me, ask colleagues, ask friends. Everybody will be fine with language, I guess. Okay, why am I standing here? I don't know anything about Mexico other than what I learned from my partners and from vacation. I'm not an expert in what you are doing, but I'm an expert in innovation, and we have 20 years track record of innovation. And we work for like almost 1,000 clients in 46 different countries. And we know really what it takes to become an innovative company. We have 70 people working with us, spread over the world. In Munich is a headquarter, and Tel Aviv is a headquarter. And we're just building here in Mexico, SIT Mexico, and that's why we're here. We want to present this to you guys. My partners, Oscar and Jorge Porro, and of course, Oscar Espinosa here. We are building this together, and we hope to bring a lot of value to your businesses through innovation. So we said from good to great. So what makes those companies great, among many others? Any ideas? Innovation, yes, they innovate. They're our clients, of course, but that's not the major reason. Innovation means to never stop thinking. And those companies, they always think. They never stop to do new things. They never stop to get into new businesses. They are brave. They are blunt. They really take it serious. And when you go to them and ask them, why do you want to work with small companies like us? They would tell you, because we never stop thinking. But at a certain point, you have to start thinking. And I want to explain you a little bit how those companies work, how we work with them, and how you can become very successful in doing never stop thinking, okay? So, I'm not this guy. I'll be happy to give you innovative thinking. What are the guidelines? Okay. You cannot tell me the guidelines of innovation because it's a skill. It's a business process as any other process you need in your company organization. So the guidelines have to come from innovation. They can't be given by a CEO. Have you seen the moment where someone comes to you and says, hey, I heard an inspiring lecture. You have to do innovation. Go for it. It's very frustrating, right? How do you do that? You know, everybody knows what. And this also doesn't work. You get back to that goddamn cubicle and start thinking outside the box. Can you do that, Oscar? Can we do it? No, actually, it doesn't really work. What's the box, by the way? The box is your expertise, what you're doing today. But getting out of the box is not something you just do every day. You stand up in the morning, you jump out of your box, and you have great ideas. It doesn't work. Okay? So there must be other things you can do. And as I said, we all know we are here because we think we gather here because innovation is important for the country. Innovation is important for you. So the what is clear, and we have inspiring lecturers who tell you what Steve Jobs did and what 3M did and all those great companies did. So the what is clear, right? We all want it. Who doesn't want to do innovation? Hands up. Come on, somebody here. Nobody is against. So who thinks innovation is important for yourself? Yeah? Who thinks innovation is important for your company? And who thinks innovation is important for the country? Of course. Okay, just as in any other country in the world. So, what's the how? And I'm here to present you some of the how. And some of you might have heard of this. Who knows brainstorming? Hands up. Do you like brainstorming? Kind of like, yeah. I have to frustrate you a little bit because there's a PhD which was published in the Journal of Product Innovation Management, 2012, so only 2 years ago. And it says 50 years of research shows brainstorming does not simply kill ideas, but disproportionately eliminates better ideas and the very best ideas. That's bad.
Why?
That's a surprise. Why? Because, does anybody have an answer? Why is brainstorming a problem sometimes?
Because it could be personal.
It could be? Personal.
Yes, because the idea is linked to a person.
It could be to a person, right?
Something with the person.
Yeah.
You don't think about the idea, you think about the person.
Yeah, that's one reason, yes.
Too many ideas cloud the overall picture.
Too many ideas. Has anybody of you seen books from a brainstorming sessions where they have 500 ideas? 500 ideas? Who can handle 500 ideas? Who has nothing else to do but looking at ideas in his daily job? Not so easy. And what's another problem of brainstorming? What are the rules of brainstorming? Everything is possible. Everything is allowed. So you might end up with ideas that are very far away from your business. But what you actually need is ideas that are very relevant for your business that you can implement. An idea is worth nothing if you can't implement it. Would you agree to that? Right? Sometimes you see companies and they say, we have a lot of ideas, but we can't do them. Why can't you do them? Because we don't have budget for it. So with all respect, they have not a single good idea. Okay? So there must be other ways. And I want to engage with you and show you a little bit what our theory is and what our research has shown. Do you know those guys? This is with special respect to Oscar because he's a great Beatles fan, so I pulled it up for him. So would you agree that they were very, very, very successful? Would you agree that they were very, very innovative in what they did? They created their own sound. They created great things. Would you think that they were creative? Yeah. Okay. So I show you something that Paul McCartney said, and it might be a little frustrating for you. Actually, Oscar cried yesterday, but it's true. And Paul McCartney said the following. As usually for these coarse-written things, John often had just the first verse, which was always enough. It was the direction, it was the signpost, and it was the inspiration for the whole song. I hate the word, but it was the pattern. What does he mean when he says pattern? So there must be some structure that they follow to create a song. When people make music, they have templates, they have a structure, it's not just a random thing they do, they get their style and they get their pattern. So this is a bit frustrating because we think every new creation is something great and something new again and again and again, but it's not, there's a pattern. And what would you think if Paul McCartney would teach you the pattern? Would you be as successful as Beatles? Maybe not, but maybe you write a little better songs than without the Beatles because they give you structure. And as human beings, we love structure. I'm a German, of course I love structure, but it's great to have guidelines and to have a rule and to follow a thing down to the success where you can create something or do something in your organization, okay? So what we do is innovation in a very systematic way. We identify patterns in innovation. So we try to understand what is the DNA, how do great things come to the world, and is there maybe a way to translate and repeat it again? And I would like to test with you and have some fun with you now and engage you in a little exercise. Are you ready to do a little exercise with me? Yeah? Okay. So if this was a surprise, let's try it out. And I would ask everybody to get up, please. And the beautiful girls with the microphones, we will need you in a second. Okay. First thing is very easy. Find a partner. Just maybe not the person right standing next to you, because this might be the person you know very well, but just move around 1 meter or 2 and find a partner. Find someone to work with. Okay, you found a partner. That was easy. Yeah? Okay. And don't be afraid. This is not a test, and this is not something bad. We're not testing Mexico's creativity at the moment. It's just a game. Okay. Everybody has a partner? Yes? Okay. Your first task is very simple. You have 20 seconds to invent something. Okay? Yeah, you're laughing. So what do I mean with invent something? It means that you have to come up with an idea of something that the world really needs, and that doesn't exist yet. Okay? Very simple. 20 seconds. Yes, 20 seconds. Okay, go ahead. Create something the world needs. And can you go around and collect a little? Yes. We will do like 4 or 5. We ask. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, wow. The time is up. The time is up. You're ready? That's good to hear. Okay. Silencio, por favor. Gracias. Okay, so who wants to share some of what are your ideas? We have the ladies with microphones. You can just tell us your ideas very quickly.
We would like a teleporting time machine.
Teleporting timer. That's a great idea. Who likes the idea? Absolutely fantastic. I travel a lot, so this would be great. Okay. More ideas. Here, the gentleman over there. Yes.
We decided that we would love to have an hologram of ourselves.
Okay.
So they could be here in the meeting, and we could be somewhere else.
But then you wouldn't have fun here. No?
Okay, I'm talking about the first part.
Okay. Okay. Gracias. What else? I want 2 or 3 more. Yes, the gentleman with the green tie.
We created a chair because if you're like on a talk and it's very boring, it can move and give you something to wake up.
Okay, a wake up chair. Okay. Yes. Here we have one.
We would like a machine that could turn dirt into water.
Dirt into water, great idea. Everybody would love it. Here, the last one we have to. What did you have?
With the resources we had at hand, we just created a new tie where you can place your glasses behind it, so it can be convenient, and you don't have to keep it in.
Okay, a tie holder. Okay, does anybody have something really great for the world? Oscar, you have something great for the world?
Well, with Sergio, we decided that it's possible to make a fertilizer of the guts of the pigs.
Okay, fertilizer. Thank you very much. Okay, what did we just do? Please stay with your partner. Don't sit here. What did we just do? Brainstorming. Okay, we did brainstorming. We found ideas that are very close, but we found also ideas that are very far away, like the teleport. I love it. How much money would I have to give you to make it work? Whatever you want. I give you $100. No, probably wouldn't work. So stay with your partner, please. So actually, there's an example of a brainstorming session from a car rental company, Budget, and watch what they came out with in their brainstorming session.
They'll get off the bus, pick out the car they want, be on their way in seconds.
We'll call it Fast Break, our fastest way to rent a car.
Can we get people from the airport to their car quicker? We can if we give everyone jet propulsion packs. I like the fast break idea.
That's a great idea. I like that one. Let's go with that one. Wow.
Okay, let's don't comment on this one. But so brainstorming brings up a lot of results. We saw in our little exercise can be very close, very far. But however, they cannot always be relevant to your business. That's a big threat. So let's try something totally different, okay? And you need to follow my instructions very thoroughly, otherwise it doesn't work. That's a disadvantage of being systematic. You have to follow a process. Okay, so with your partner, please choose an existing product, okay? When I say choose, it has to be something that you already know, that is in the world, and I want you to choose something that is less than 1,000 pesos, and that you both like and both use on a regular basis. It can be as simple as a pen, okay? A pen is less than 1,000 pesos, you use it every day, it's an object that you know, okay? Pick something existing. This for a second. So. Okay, so Oscar, what do you have?
I don't know how you call the Unicell.
Unicell, what is Unicell?
The Unicell. This is like the phone
okay.
to protect the products.
What do you have?
Cellular telephone.
Cell phone.
A spoon.
Spoon, very good. I run over here.
Dolce Gusto.
Dolce Gusto, okay.
A golf ball.
Golf ball? That's less than 1,000 pesos. Okay, what do you have? A book. Okay, everybody has something like this, objects like those, right? Okay, that was easy. Now, you have to do the following. Imagine you have this object, and I ask you now to do one single change to the object that you've just chosen. One change. A mechanical change. And the rule is that after the change, your product that you've chosen has to be absolutely horrible. Okay? What do I mean with horrible? I mean that after the change you do, it can't do what it did before. It doesn't work anymore, and only with one single change. And please don't make jokes. Don't throw it out of the window or drive your car over it. Just make one change, and it can't do what it did before. Okay? 20 seconds, make your product horrible. Okay? That's the easy part. Very easy. I think it shouldn't be difficult for us to make our objects horrible. So we will gather again a few of you. So please tell us what your object was and how you made it horrible. Just very quickly. Who wants to? Yeah.
Cell phone with no screen.
You did a very good job. I think we have to give an applause. That's a horrible product. Thank you very much. What did you have? Yes?
Okay, we had a book, so we made it with the letters black and the pages black, so you can read it.
You can read. Good job. Good job. What else? Ladies, there's someone in the back? No? Yes? Just keep asking people who are raising their hands. So, what was your object? What did you do?
Hi, we have toilet paper.
Yes.
And we put holes in it.
Okay, I like it. That's really bad. A very brave product you've chosen, by the way. What else? I want two more. Please, yes.
We took a projector,
yeah,
and instead of putting it to the voltage, we put a solar cell, huge solar cell, but it doesn't work because it's inside.
It's inside. Okay, that's a pretty bad product. Okay, one more, and then
it's
we continue.
sustainable.
Sustainable, though. Yeah. One more.
A soap that
Soap?
instead of cleaning you, it gets you dirty.
It gets you dirty. Okay, that's another bad product. Okay, now imagine the following situation. You are working at the company who produces those products. So you work at the soap company or at the book company, and you are the marketing director, and your partner is the sales director of this company. And then the CEO, the big boss, comes into the room and he says, "Gentlemen, we have a problem. We have some problems in our production, and now we have 30,000 horrible products in our warehouse." So now the situation becomes real. So the exact product that you just created is in their warehouse, and of course it's a problem. So the CEO tells you, "Guys, please find someone in the world who needs it, and please sell the product, because otherwise we will go bankrupt. You have a minute to solve the problem or you lose your job." So this is what he tells you. Now your job is find someone in the world who really needs your product and sell it. You have 1 minute to do that. Okay, so a lot of horrible products and a lot of inventors here. So what did you do? Who thinks that which team thinks if they found a good market and can sell the horrible product? Who wants to start? Yes, wow, there's a lot. Yeah.
The cell phone with no screen for the blind people.
Yeah, why? Actually, you discovered a new market. They don't need a screen. And the screen is very, very expensive, so selling it without a screen makes the product cheap. Very good. What else? So,
coming back to the lenses, which are yours, we decided to create just a single lens, and we can sell it to people that have a graduation or need graduation only one of their eyes.
Okay, and actually you created a totally new design for a lens. Okay, thank you very much. What else? There's a lot of hands up. Yep. What was your horrible product?
My horrible product is a glass with that is horizontal, that is not allowed to put something in there. Okay, the thing is to sell to the recycled glasses manufacturer in order to save something, and the designer, and spell out the designer.
Okay, thank you very much. Will you be able to sell 30,000? I think so. Yeah. Who's next?
We have a safety razor with the blades are made of butter, and my associate here came up with an ingenious solution.
Sell it to the kids and also to the restaurants.
So they can't hurt themselves? Will you be able to sell 30,000 units? Yes, okay. I want two more, and I really want to have the toilet paper, guys. So, two more.
Well, the soap for jokes and for parties for the kids and clowns.
Okay, thank you. 30,000? Thumbs up. Okay, the toilet paper, guys.
The solution is not as good as the problem, but we would sell it to kitchens, no, to where they were producing a bunch of food, and it's not that disgusting if you get your hands dirty.
Okay, okay, but you found a new market. I saw someone here. So who else thinks they have something? They found something great. The last one. The book, maybe, or One more volunteer, yeah? Another one, okay.
Okay, we had the book with black letters and black pages, so we were thinking about maybe selling them to university stores so that the students could give it to each other as a joke.
Okay, so 30,000, I think there are enough students in the world. Okay, thank you very much. Take a seat if you want, with your partner or your old seat. I show you another little commercial, and this commercial shows what you actually did. And is the volume working for the projector? So, oh, that was the wrong one. Oh no. Sorry, that's the old one. Okay, the birth of scratching. What happened here? An accident, right? So he created scratching from an accident. He had the beer spilled over his turntable and he created something great. Do you know any other stories of the world where something great was created through an accident? Post-it notes, right? That was a glue. They tried to invent the greatest glue in the world and it didn't work. So they found a new use for it, just as you did in the horrible product exercise. Any other example? Aspartame? This one, yeah? How was it created? Just some mistake? Okay, so a mistake. Okay, and it was sweet and it was healthy? Okay. Another accident. What else? Yeah. Viagra. Does anybody know a product called Viagra? What's that? Nobody. Always the same reaction. It was against blood pressure, and it didn't work. Pfizer almost went bankrupt on the development of Viagra. It costs, medication, developing a new drug costs $500 million to $1 billion. But they found this nice side effect. So what can we learn from those examples? We did an exercise now. We did first a little brainstorming, then we did what I call the horrible product exercise. And we learned that accidents can lead to some great successes. What can we learn about it from this? Actually, we can have a structure, and actually creating accidents can lead to something great. And also something we can learn from it is that what was our search engine? Actually, did we look for customers when we started ruining our product? No. What we did is innovation from the core. Many people would tell you that you have to listen to the voice of your customer. Would you agree? Yes, our customer is very important, but is our customer the one to give us the greatest ideas? No. Not necessarily. There are some great thinkers who have great ideas, but on the other hand, the mass of our customers cannot give us the great ideas. Why? Because we own the business. So why shouldn't we innovate from the core? Why don't we use our resources, our people? You employ the best people you can get for your company, right? So innovate from the core and give it a structure so that we can come up with something great that is shaping the market rather than just reacting to it, just as we did in our funny little exercise. So what we do in SIT, we develop a process that gets you to ideas in a totally different way. So we start from the core, which is the existing situation. So the products you have, the processes you have, the business model you have, everything you know. This is your existing situation. This is where you are. There's no way to argue about it. This is very crystal clear. And then we apply what we call thinking tools. And the thinking tools are not random, and they are not destroying your product just as we did now, because I wanted to make a joke and exaggerate, but even with ruining your product, you come up with ideas. So the moment where we manipulate our existing situation is where we use tools, and the tools are the DNA of successful ideas of the past. So we had a look at a few 100,000 successes product innovation, process innovation, business model innovation. You name it, you know, and we compared them. We found out that in those great successes, there are common patterns. Just as in the example that Paul McCartney mentioned, there are patterns in creativity. So what we did is we took those patterns, we extracted them, we turned them into a method, and we made them useful in a way that you can reapply it. So you can learn the DNA of successful innovation. And then you can reapply it and come up with more great ideas. So what we do is we start there, we implant DNA of successful innovation in your situation, and then we create something new by asking, what are the benefits? Like, what can this do for you? When I ask you in this little exercise, I said, find someone in the world who needs it. So you're automatically looking for a use of it instead of waiting for a use to come to you. And then you look for the challenges. Are we able to do it? Do we have the capacity? Do we have the budget? Do we have the resources to actually make it work? And then we apply some adaptations to the reality where we say that if we want to make this great idea work, we need to change this, 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 and that. And at the end, we have a filtered good idea because now we know this is something that creates value, and this is something we can do, and this is something we can turn into reality. And only then we say this is an idea. Okay? So it's a totally different approach to innovation. It's taking your innovation from the core to the outside. You use your knowledge, you use your people in the best way, you apply some DNA, you make use of what successful people did in the past and do it again in the future. And this is what we do all over the world with our clients. Now something is missing. We talked about patterns, and I want to give you one example of one of those thinking patterns that we identified, and there are only 5 of them. In the logic of SIT, in the logic we think, we would always look at what was before and what was after. And our research wanted to show how people came from before to after, how this great idea came to the world, starting from what they already had. And when you look at a cup of soup, what is before a cup of soup? A can of soup, right? That's what they had before. What happened to the can of soup? What happened to the product?
Very expensive.
Very expensive, but what happened? What did they do to the product? To what? And how? What did they mechanically do? They took the water out. This is stupid. A soup without water. I mean, think about it. It's at first it sounds very stupid, but then you think about benefits. What are the benefits? Remember the process. Now we have a strange situation, a soup without water. It sounds very, very stupid, but what are the benefits? Actually, it's convenience. You can take it home. You don't have to carry big things. You just pour water again, and then you have a great product. Can we do it? Yes, just dehydrate soup. Okay? iPod Shuffle, what's unique about this one? No screen and no control, actually not a real control, it's shuffle, it's random. Nobody wants that, but still it's a very, very good product because it's small. That's the benefit they found. Small, portable, you use it for running, use it for activities. Great idea. They took away the screen. Amazon.com, what was before? Stores, you know, with books and reading corner and staff and cash desk. It's gone. He took something else. He eliminated everything that was important to the business model of bookstores. Today, Amazon is bigger and different, but that's how they started. Contact lenses. Think about it. First focus group in Bausch & Lomb. 20 customers sit there and they, okay, please take this little piece of glass and put it in your eyes. Congratulations. That was a very tough moment, I guess. So, but still, great idea. And what did they do? They eliminated the frame from the glasses. And what's the benefit? Why is this a great idea? Who likes that? More comfortable. We don't have to wear glasses. You know, when you walk from cold to hot, you get, you know, it gets wet and you don't see very well. And so many people don't like to have glasses in their face. It's a great benefit. So we call this, what do you think is the pattern? How could we call this pattern? Take out, take something away, leave something out. We call it subtraction. And we're practicing this with our clients every day, and they come up with amazing things because it's breaking what we call the box. It's bringing people out of their fixedness, showing them different ways to go, and asking questions that nobody else would ask. And then you can shape and create something new. Subtraction. This is one of 5 patterns. For anybody who's interested in more of the patterns, we're happy to give you material. It's just the sake of time that I can't talk about all of them. So, So this is how we operate. We work with this process that we call function follows form. So we start with an existing situation, we manipulate it using the DNA of successful ideas. One pattern you learned is called subtraction. And we lead our clients to better and more systematic innovation process. In addition to that, we say we build I told you in the beginning, how to turn from good to great. It's not enough only to know about some patterns and DNA of creativity. Your organization needs to transform. And what we found out in our experience is that there are 3 very, very important pillars that you have to take care of if you want to have sustainable and successful repetitive innovation as a business process in your company. And this is first, results. Without results, there's no reason to believe, right? You can talk about innovation all day. If you don't create results, it's worth nothing. So the tools, the method that we teach helps you to create results on a regular basis. And then you need skills. People need to know how to do it, right? Remember the first little cartoon. Hey, go, think outside your box. It doesn't work. We agreed. So you can give people skills. You can teach people how to do innovation. You can teach managers how to manage innovation. You can teach top management how to get to a strategic innovation framework for your company. It's something you can learn. It's not something having a shower and coming up with great ideas in the morning. It's a business process. And the third thing we need is structures. An organization needs to provide structures for organization to flourish. Just as the government gives you structures, as we heard before, to make innovation work in the country, your organization needs structures. You need an innovation process. You need innovation strategy. You need the right tools and mechanisms to make innovation work. And if you do those things right, you can be very successful in making a business from good to great. Okay, my last slide. Some lessons I want to share with you from 20 years of experience. They're very simple, actually, and this is like a gift I want to give to you to think about it. First thing is adopt function follows form mindset. So don't only trust your customers to tell you what to do. It's a bit tricky. Even if you do focus groups and market research, it's very important for innovation, but it's not the first thing you do. So try to innovate using what you have, applying tools, and trust your people. Enable your people and give them the mandate to innovate, and they will come up with great results. You have no idea what I've seen in the past, where people were with a back to the wall, and they were really frustrated, and then they gave people the mandate to innovate, and people do great things if you give them the freedom for it. So this is one example. Febreze, you all know it? The spray. This is an example from our work. Everything I show you, by the way, is from our work here. Where we had a project on a detergent with Procter & Gamble, and we applied the function follows form principle and subtraction. So it was a detergent where we eliminated the active ingredients. Can you think about sitting with a group of chemists and you tell them take out the active ingredient? They want to kill you. They really want to kill you. But we know that this can lead to great ideas. So we ask again, what are the benefits if there was no active ingredients? It can't wash anymore, but what is good about it? And they say it smells good. So who has a benefit from things that's from something that smells good? Well, maybe people who want to refresh clothes. Maybe people who want to refresh carpets, car seats, sofa where your dog was sitting all day. That's a great market. So why wouldn't we do that? And then they said, can we do it? We're Procter & Gamble, of course we can do it. Let's make a spray. Okay, so this is a new market created by using something simple as subtraction, where people first really don't like it. Foster constraints. This is something we did with Nestle, where we said, constraints means you have to set boundaries for innovation. You can't do wild thinking. You cannot be BMW and someone says, hey, I have a great idea, let's make space rockets. It doesn't work. You have to build constraints. We always say creativity actually loves constraints. Do you watch Formula Uno? Yes. They get constraints every year, and what do the cars do? They become faster because the engineers know what to do. So when you do innovation, make sure you know which market you want to attract, which are the resources you want to give, which is the budget you want to give, because any idea that is outside those constraints will not work. Okay, and here we wanted to have iced tea and it should work still as iced tea, and what we came up with was an iced tea for the winter, because sales were declining in the winter. Iced tea is a summer product, so they created something for the winter, but it's still iced tea, right? They didn't leave the market. Innovate from your core. We talked about it. Be true to yourself and use your resources, give trust to your people, and innovate from your core. You will be amazed what the results can be when you just do it in a nice way. Don't trust too much what other people tell you. Your core will provide you with great things. Here, that's a funny story from the core, innovating from the core. You know, Saint-Gobain, they make these tubes for water, and they break all the time. And then they found out if we change the shape of it and make it like a D shape, they can't break anymore if you put them around. So it's another example of innovating from the core and do it smart. Innovate across business units. We work a lot with Siemens in Germany, and there's one phrase in Siemens where they say, if Siemens only knew what Siemens knows, right? Because it's just such a huge organization and they don't know what other people are doing. So breaking down, you build cross-functional teams, have people from different departments work together. I have seen companies, and please don't be ashamed if you have the same experience, I have seen companies where the marketing people never talk to the development people. How can you be a successful innovator? For me, it's a miracle how those people can survive. Imagine the power if you put both of them into one room, and marketing knowledge and technical knowledge come together to create something. Work across business units. And this was something we did in Johnson & Johnson, a harmonic scalpel, a scalpel with sound, where we really put people from different departments and different companies in Johnson & Johnson together to come up with something great that is a minimal invasive scalpel for operations. So, last thing, link innovation to strategy. Anybody has a corporate strategy in their company? Hands up if you have a corporate strategy. You should have some kind of strategy, you know? What are you going to do for the next 10 years in your company? So most have a strategy. How many have an innovation strategy? Okay, a few. It's always surprising, again, how many companies don't have an innovation strategy. You might be surprised. I know some big names who don't really have it. They say, let's innovate. Let's innovate over there, because I think it's a great place to innovate. Maybe not. Maybe this doesn't go align with your strategy, and companies waste so much money innovating in the wrong fields because they don't link innovation to innovations to the corporate strategy. So that's another very big learning we have from our experience, and this is what I wanted to give to you. Some Spanish. Muchas gracias. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you can take something back home, some thinking that I gave you, and be very successful. I wish you all the best for your innovation. Muchas gracias.
¿Alguien tiene alguna pregunta?
How are we with time, Paul? Yes.
How can you get more information about your teachings and your information, and perhaps even contact information to help us out?
We're here. So we are just building SIT Mexico, and so both Oscars and Jorge Porro and myself. So we will be here today. We will be here until Wednesday. So if anybody, I will go back to Germany only Wednesday. So if anybody wants to learn more, we can come.
Is there some material on the webpage as well?
Webpage we have. We can give you business cards, and if you give us your contact information, we will send you whatever you need. So there's also a book that we just published. So if anybody wants to read the book, just tell Oscar or myself, and we will provide you with the book. It's called Innovation Inside the Box. A pretty dramatic title, but as we say, we move from the core to the outside and not the other way around. So please, everybody, just ask if you need material. Yes?
Hi, could you share with us how did you come up with your company? I mean, did you follow an innovation process as you're teaching us?
It's a good question. It's a good question. I was studying MBA in the university in Barcelona, and one of my majors was innovation and technology management. And so, of course, I was very interested in innovation. And then I read an article in Wall Street Journal about a professor in Tel Aviv, in Israel, Jakob Goldenberg. And he did this research. I'm too young for this research. The origin of the research is after the Second World War. They started, thinking about it. So Jakob spent 10 years developing the method. And looking at a few 100,000 successes and understanding the DNA. And I read an article about him in Wall Street Journal. It was called "We Cracked the DNA of Successful Innovation." I thought that's pretty sexy. So I gave this guy a call, and they already did business in Israel, and they did some business in the United States. And I asked him, hey, let's bring this to Europe. So they taught me how to do it, and I went back to Germany and opened SIT Germany. And there's another SIT in Tel Aviv, so we have 2 companies that are doing this. So a little bit of luck is always there. Yes?
So by saying your method to innovate, you must have a problem to innovate something. Like you always solve things by a problem. You never create something without a problem. That's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm saying it's a very good question because some other methods need a problem statement before you innovate. Here, actually, you can have a problem. So we do a lot of problem solving. Like we work a lot with Shell, and they have to drill 4,000 wells, and it's too expensive. They have to find a solution how to do it differently. But you can also have, we always say there's 2 reasons for most people to work with us. One is pain, and the other one is gain. So pain is you have a problem, correct, as you said. So, hey, we don't know what to do. This is our product, and we don't know where to go. What's the next 5 generations? What are we doing in the next 10 years? So it's a problem. We're losing market share. We're losing opportunities. Help. But it's not a very specific problem. It's a wish. They say, we have to innovate. And the gain thing is that people say, hey, we are actually doing very well. We have good numbers. We are successful, but we don't want to be the next Kodak. We don't want to be the next Nokia. So they're looking for gain. And they say, hey, guys, teach us. Come inside. Give us the model, the 3 pillars. Teach us, help us to create results, to make our business from good to great. So there's those 2 types of customers that we're actually working with.
How can you subtract something if you don't have the product? Like how can you take out something if you don't have nothing?
Well, if you have nothing, then it's difficult. But usually companies, you are in a certain state, right? So our job is not to create totally new ideas to give to startups. Our job will always be a company as it is has to move somewhere else. And if you're very honest, do you think great products come out of the blue? No. No. Actually, when we look, we have some basic needs. Human beings, we have some basic needs. And communication, for example, is one of them, or mobility is one of them. And there have been ideas for this forever. Like when Steve Jobs created the iPhone, was this completely new? Oh, he was smart. He managed to combine things in a very, very smart way. So in a way, you can say that there's always something you can start from. Right? And even if you build a startup, you can say, okay, we've seen this, we have to do something about big data. So there is something, and you just can start thinking about it, improve it, do it differently. Yeah. Hmm? Sometimes we work with the competitor's product. So a company, let's say, building those cups, says, our bloody competitor, he has a much better product. So we take his product to ideate from there. So you can kind of get, overtake him on the long run. Yes?
You were talking about successful cases in companies, in management, innovation managing in companies. But how important do you think we should have innovation managing in government entities, for example?
Can I say very important? I think it's very important. Because, a government is an organization, just as a company is an organization, right? And there's things you have to do. You have products. Government has products, right? Government has processes, and governments has communication, and governments have many things that a company also has. And of course you can innovate there. And sometimes It's very, very important. My experience in Germany is it's a bit harder to work with them because they usually don't have the same pressure that a public company has in terms of competition. There's no competition for a government in a country, so the pressure is a little bit lower, but you can innovate just the same. Just the same. Okay.
¿Alguna última pregunta que tengan?
What do you think of the theory of disruptive innovation, and how do you, your approach fits into that?
Okay, it's an interesting question because you can argue. You can argue a lot. Sometimes people say, yeah, but this is only incremental. It's not disruptive. And there's two answers to your question. First is the method can take you anywhere. It can take the ground of your business away, like using subtraction, and force you to do something totally different, which might be very, very disruptive for your business. And now you could argue something like Febreze. Is it disruptive? Maybe not, but what type of business did it create? $1 billion huge business. So do they really care? Do you think the CEO really cares about how disruptive the idea was? I don't think so. And my experience is that when you work, we work with just regular clients. We work with companies, and they never ask us, hey, guys, let's do something disruptive. Why? Because they might not even be able to do it, right? Sometimes it just happens. When you apply the method, it just happens. You come up with something, wow, and then you have to find ways to do it. And usually disruptive technologies don't emerge from a single small company. They emerge from a much wider scope. And when you ask managers of companies what type of innovation they want, they usually tell you, I want things that I can do. And if it's disruptive or not, it's not so important. At the end, the dollar counts. So that's what clients tell us. But the method can take you anywhere. You just have to allow the space. And if your constraint is, like in the Febreze example, they still wanted to do textile. They didn't want to do room refresher, or they didn't want to go to automotive or to anywhere else. So when you set your constraints, this is where you want to be. And if your constraint is the world, then you can come up with some disruptive things. Okay. Thank you very much. It was my pleasure. Thanks for participating.